This is Vader Reviews. We are honored that you would join us. The entertainment drought continues, unfortunately leaving me with nothing worth reviewing in movie theaters.
What beastly luck.
So, what exactly am I supposed to do? Talk about my favorite animated film of all time, of course. The final film personally supervised by Walt Disney himself. 1967's The Jungle Book.
How interesting.
Inspired by Rudyard Kipling's stories, which were published in magazines from 1893 to 1894, complete with illustrations by Kipling's father, John Lockwood Kipling, Disney's retelling of Mowgli's adventures deep in the jungles of India captured my imagination like no other film when I was a man cub. Like most children, I loved the zoo, nature documentaries on PBS, and anything to do with animals in general. But what set The Jungle Book apart for me was its connection to another of my favorite animated films, Rikki-Tikki-Tavi. Knowing both stories were from the same book, in my mind, set them in the same world. Meaning, while Mowgli and Baloo were fighting for their lives against Shere Khan the tiger, Rikki-Tikki-Tavi was locked in battle with the cobras Nag and Nagaina. And if these two stories were happening at the same time, I always wondered what other adventures were taking place deep in the jungle that we didn't know about. And to be fair, while it may be argued I was just a weird little kid, it also speaks to the power of storytelling and how it can shape and inspire the imaginations of children. To me, The Jungle Book is classic Disney animation at its best. Lovable comedic characters and catchy upbeat music, combined with some of the most beautiful hand-drawn animation the studio ever produced. Animation legend Milt Kahl's hand is all over this film, as seen clearly with his signature head swoggle animation during most of the dialogue sequences. His unique style, artistry, and craftsmanship gave this film so much of its personality. It's really some of the best character animation of all time.
Yes, isn't it?
Speaking of characters, Disney knew the heart of the film would be the relationship between Mowgli and Baloo the bear, so casting had to be perfect. Originally, Walt Disney wanted Western icon John Wayne for the voice of Baloo, but due to scheduling conflicts, he was unable to voice the character. John Wayne suggested his good friend Phil Harris instead, who in turn based his performance on John Wayne, since that's who Disney originally envisioned as the character.
Well, that's pretty big talk, little britches.
King Louie, one of my personal favorite characters of the film, was voiced by Italian jazz band leader Louis Prima. His signature stage presence, vocal delivery, and sound of his swing band served as an inspiration to Disney animators and gave the film one of its best and most beloved sequences. But as we all know, a movie is only as good as its villain. And who is the best Disney villain, you may ask?
It's me, Shere Khan.
Like most man cubs, I was fascinated by predatory animals, anything with sharp teeth and claws, but there was always something incredibly wizard about big cats, particularly tigers. But speaking of tigers, we have wizard new t-shirt designs on our Redbubble store, including this Eye of the Tiger design. We all need clothes from time to time, and buying from us helps support the channel, as well as our future comic books and film projects. A link to where you can purchase these fine items is in the description, and in the pinned comment. Back to the movie. Earlier I called Shere Khan the best Disney villain, but why is that? Is it his animal magnetism? Perhaps a bit of personal bias, since he's a villain with a deep voice who chokes his cowering underlings? Academy Award winner George Sanders lent his villainous velvety pipes to the role, and delivered a wry, sarcastic, commanding, and truly evil performance as Shere Khan. But more than that, the entire character is a masterclass in setup and execution. His presence looms large over the entire narrative, despite the fact that he doesn't arrive on screen until 47 minutes in. And with only 6 minutes and 42 seconds of screen time, he still manages to be one of the most memorable characters in the entire film. And that is a mixture of excellent writing, pacing, and performance. I have a very personal connection with this film. I can practically quote the entire movie. I've seen it so many times on VHS as a kid. I also used to pause the tape when I was little so I could draw Shere Khan and the other characters. The tie-in game for the Sega Genesis was one of my favorite games on the console, and I spent hours and hours on end playing it. The Jungle Book was Disney's 19th animated feature film, their second highest grossing film at the time. Walt Disney knew this would be the last film he would ever get to make, and he wanted to leave something uplifting and happy behind to inspire children for generations. "Laughter is timeless," he once said. "Imagination has no age, and dreams are forever." And he was right. The Jungle Book inspired me to draw, fired my imagination as a boy, and made me want to create my own stories. And it brings me joy to this very day. And that is why it's my favorite animated film of all time.
Well, now.
But what's your favorite animated film? Comment below, and don't forget the link to our Redbubble store for Wizard t-shirts and merch. We also have a coffee page set up so you can help support the channel and all of our creative projects. You'll find the link in the comments. I want to give a huge thank you to my blue wizard, my brown wizards, and my gray wizards. You help make the magic happen around here, and I am most grateful. You guys are totally wizard. If you want to be part of what we're doing here, you can make a one-time donation or become a monthly member and get your name listed on the end credits of our videos and films. We have a lot of exciting things on the horizon, so join us by becoming a member and let's create something together.